Hey guys, we're here. We're talking about closings. This is a very important part, and every closing is going to look a little bit different depending on who you're buying the property from. For example, if you're buying the property from a bank as a foreclosure, they're not going to want to see you assign your contract from them to an end buyer. And on the settlement statement, they're not going to want to see you making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 because then they know that they didn't get the maximum profit and potential out of the property that they sold. So that's going to get handled a lot different than it would be handled if you were, for example, to buy a house from a homeowner down the street that just inherited something that you came to an agreement with and you wanted to sell it. They might not even care how much you make on it as long as they're done with the property and never have to deal with it again. So that being said, I'm going to kind of dive deeper into how the double close works and how an assignment works. So you get to a double close. What the benefit of this is that it allows both the seller and the buyer basically to not know how much money you're making. So this is a great strategy. If you're going to sell a house to somebody and make like $20,000, $30,000 on a deal, and you don't want necessarily the buyer to look at you and say, well, how come you're making so much money? And the seller's like, well, how come you're making so much money? At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter how much you're making to the investor as long as they're happy with their numbers. I've been ripped and had people sell houses to me that have made $40,000 just in the last year, and I'm okay with it because my numbers were exactly where I wanted. So they put the legwork in. It was no big deal. I was fine with that. So the double close, the very, very most important thing you have to understand about a double close is that you need to bring the money to the closing. So whatever your agreement is with the seller, whether you're buying the house for $50,000 or $100,000, you need to make sure on your first set of HUD, that'll be your buy HUD, in the first transaction between you and the seller, you're gonna have your own HUD. You take your HUD, and whatever the bottom number is that you have to bring to closing, you must wire to the title company. Now, you can do that a couple of ways. Even if you have your own money, even better, you wire it to the title company, they hold it. Or transactional funding, which we'll dive into transactional funding in another segment. So either way, the money from the first buy side settlement statement goes to the title company, and the title company holds that money. Now, we know that there's another closing because it's a double close. The second closing happens after the first. So now you're going to have a separate settlement statement between you and the investor. And that's going to have a different amount that the investor has to wire to the title company. So in the scenario, I, from my buy side, wired my money to the title company. My investor, from the sell side, they wired their money to the title company. So right now the title company is holding two sets of money. Now, after everything is signed and everything's done in order, they have to disperse. What does that look like? Basically, the very first person that gets money from the title company is the original seller because it all starts with them. So they get paid out of the money that I wire, you wire as the wholesaler on the buy side when you first buy it. Once that happens, then the money that your investor has gets paid back to you. So now once you get that money, whether you have the transactional funding or it's your own money, whoever you borrowed the money from gets paid back, and then you keep whatever the hit and the profit is. That simple. Hit is another word for profit. You hear a lot of wholesalers use that. It's what we always used. So that's an example of how a double close works and how it's timed out in a scenario where you'd want to use one. Now, another scenario that's a lot easier is an assignment. Basically, an assignment is when I go down the road and I find a homeowner that I want to buy a house from. And I'll buy the house for $50,000 and I turn around and I can sell that same house to an investor for $60,000. So I'll essentially know I can make $10,000 on it. And I already have a purchase contract with the seller. So what's an assignment look like? Basically, well, first of all, it's in your worksheets, and it's a piece of paper that says, whatever your company name is, am selling my right to buy XYZ property to an investor for $10,000. That is your assignment fee, is you taking your contract and selling it to that other investor for $10,000. This scenario is very transparent. The investor knows you're making $10,000, and whenever the closing comes, the seller that you're buying it from is going to know you're making $10,000. You know what? It could come with some different objections, questions could be asked, and I always put it this way. A lot of the investors that I deal with, and me personally, what I do whenever it becomes an issue is I simply just tell the seller, yeah, it's a business partner. It's my business partner. We're selling it to get money to rehab the property on the front. There's a lot of different little objections or things you could say. But basically, if the seller is happy with the deal, they're locked in a contract anyway. So they can't walk away just because you're going to make money on it. So an assignment is a very good tool because that allows you to not bring a single penny to closing. Your assignment fee will be a line item on the settlement statement saying that, you know, between the original buyer and the investor, they have the whole purchase contract. And then you are just right down here saying a check payable to Wholesaling LLC, $10,000. You get your money. You don't have to do anything. You walk away and you're off to find another deal. So those are the two big kind of closings you have: assignments and double close.